Hey guys, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Bren. Let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. Congratulations, you made it through the first 100 days of January, and we are in the month of February. I am so glad you are here. And we're talking Parent Your Way, Take Back Your Right in 2025. And for those of you who may not know me, um, I founded Warrior Moms by Bren and Warrior Nation when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. Hey guys, good to see you. Keep letting us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. And he was just a baby. I didn't know what I didn't know. And we walked through hell in the last probably 10 or 12 years. And now we walk back and take water to those still in the fire. And when we take water back to those still in the fire, we let them know, hey, you have rights. As a parent of a minor child in the U.S., you have rights. Now, I am in the middle of the U.S., and it is so cold. Yesterday it was in the 80s. Today it's in like around freezing, 32. And it's just crazy here in the heartland. And I love, hey, Seattle in the house. Great to see you. I love that we live in a country where we have choices. And to me, that's really important. Now, my son, who is diagnosed on the autism spectrum and medically injured, is theoretically level 3 nonverbal at our house. Hey, guys, yeah, take back your rights. He is theoretically requiring lifelong care. Now, we do not have an ailment or a disease at our house. We have a diagnosis. And since we have a diagnosis, there's always room for improvement as we habit stack and get better. We can heal emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. Now, I don't have all the answers. I have been at this a while. And I would love for my pain to be your gain. Now, if you're facing pressure at your pediatrician's office and you want to decline immunizations, we can help you walk through that because we've all been through it. When you face the school, I mean, we have a really heartbreaking story of my son's 7th grade. He's so excited to be there and get back to school. It was right after the pandemic. And he shows up and they're like, you don't have these immunizations on record. I'm like, we have an exemption on file. Did you know, hear me, warriors, did you know that all 50 states accept medical exemptions? Yes, all 50 states. And probably about 24 states accept medical exemptions and religious exemptions. Just last month, the state of West Virginia added religious exemptions to their medical exemptions. This is big news because it's about health freedom and health choice. Now, if you live in the States, you know there's a lot going on. A lot of people are getting confirmed for, secretary of this, secretary of that, all these cabinet positions. And it's really important. We're not here for any particular political platform. We are here to fight for our children. And that's what Warrior Nation is all about, to be a voice for the voiceless. Now, we have a couple of pillars or tenets that we live by. And the first is to educate. We can have differing opinions, but I will always show you kindness and respect. And we use American Sign Language. That's how my son learns new words. So it's like you're straightening the bill of the hat. Educate. That's to learn, to inform, to let new moms know, hey, when you have a baby at the hospital, you can sign a waiver and they don't have to be loaded with aluminum the very first day. You have an opportunity to exercise your religious and medical freedom. Now, not everyone agrees with that. We're finding more and more, especially recently with all the cardiac events that have happened, that, hey, how safety tested is this? Let's ask that question. And then let's take that microscopic insert with the 2-point font and let's find out, what am I injecting into my child? That's all I'm saying. And I know a lot of people, especially new moms, they don't realize they have a choice. And we are here to educate, to inform, to lift others up. And then we move from educate to equip. And that's to supply. So we're just going to go like this, like I'm handing you supplies to finish a project. Hey guys, good to see you. Oh, wow. Morocco in the house again. New York in the house. Good to see you guys. Florida in the house. I am so glad you're here. And as a warrior mom, I am called to be a voice for the voiceless, to be an advocate for my son who is not capable of advocating for himself yet. And we live in a pretty conservative state in the middle of the US, and we still get immense pushback for thinking for ourselves and asking detailed questions and requesting an additional meeting with the school, requesting additional accommodations, requesting that, hey, these are our beliefs and we expect you to respect them. Now, again, I don't have all the answers, just a lot of hard real life experience. Now, for example, we walk into a pediatrician, we have a brand new baby, and we're trusting that the person in the white coat says exactly what we need to do. Now, we were military. My son was born in Japan in a military hospital. I had very little choice. I didn't know what I know now. And I tell him all the time, if he's having a rough day, I'm like, buddy, we didn't know what we didn't know. We just start where we are on the way to where we're going, and we heal along the way. It's never about the goal or arriving at that big successful event where we feel like we've arrived. It's who we become along the way. Now, I love, yes, I agree. Oh, good to see you guys. Florida in the house. Yeah. And for me, what I love is that community will always outdo willpower. I am taking almost a dozen years of research and boiling this down into a podcast. And I just want you to know you're not alone. And if you're not facing these things and you don't have any issues with your advocating for your children, then please share this with someone who might. Yeah, I mean, can you guys relate? If you're live, put an L in the chat. If you're on the replay, put an R. And I want you to know that you are not alone. That's my mission tonight. Hey, another Florida in the house, Trinidad in the house. Good to see you guys. We are here to say, let's have a discussion. I wish I had known what I know now when my son was little. I didn't. And I want, if I can save one family the heartbreak and devastation we've experienced, then my time here is well spent. Is what I say the only way? No. I mean, we all have free will. And what I love is that I can walk alongside, we can lock arms and say, we understand that you have these medical incentives to have all of your patients in your pediatric practice. They're actually bonuses from insurance companies as well as pharmaceutical companies. And no one is held liable if your child is medically injured. Hear me, hear me, warriors. No one is held liable. They have complete immunity. They have a complete immunity if your child is medically injured. Okay, so I'm not going to harp on that anymore. I know that together we're stronger, and I'm not trying to sound like a groovy Hallmark card. I could never do this without the tribe that I have around me and like-minded warrior moms like myself. Now, I am noticing that a lot of grandparents as well as dads are starting to get involved because they're seeing the devastation that untested medical treatments are having on their children. Okay, first things first. I'm going to go right here to my screen. And this is my why. He just turned 16 this summer. His name is Zach. So when I am doing educate and equip, we jokingly refer to our American Sign Language or ASL as Zachanese because sometimes we just make up our own words and he comes up with his own signs, but we understand each other, especially when tensions are high and he's overwhelmed with sensory issues. Now, hear my heart. I just want to bring this back. And I can tell you the facts all day long. My question to you is, where are you in this journey? Where are you? Where is your loved one in this journey? Because we were taught growing up that, we respect authority. We trust what the teacher says. We trust what the principal says. We trust what the school nurse says. We trust what the doctor says. And we're finding out that that is not the case, that there's a script to follow almost. And I am so excited that we live in a country where we can talk about this openly. A lot of children, especially children on the spectrum, were medically injured. And we're going to talk a little bit about this tonight. It's okay if we don't agree. It's really okay, because I love that. We can agree to disagree and still share this message to those who need it or might be facing some things. Hey guys, good to see you. One of the things that I love when we're talking about educating and equipping is that, hey, did you know in the first 24 hours of a newborn's life, they receive more aluminum in their little bodies than smoking 6-pack of cigarettes? Now, what do I mean by that? This is all very documented, and it's just straight from the CDC. One of the vaccines or immunizations that they receive is hepatitis B. Now, hepatitis B is most likely passed on from the mother. If the mother tests negative, there's no reason on this earth for a little baby to have this vaccine. Now, we have the hepatitis B antigen, the active ingredients that protects against the virus. It has aluminum, which is related to neurological disorders, much like my son has, and formaldehyde. Say what? I had no idea the hepatitis B my little newborn baby received had all of this in that. Now, why is this important? As grown adults, is that going to affect us as much as a 6 or 7 pound baby, even a 10-pound baby? No. Their blood-brain barrier has not formed. And that's why it's so important to be informed of the actual ingredients, because no one's going to tell you, and most doctors and nurses are not going to read the 2-point font inserts. Now, why is this important? Hang with me here. Research shows us that leukemia is the most common type of cancer for children. Now, why is that important? Well, according to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC, formaldehyde is known to cause leukemia and other cancers. Now, let's go back to our Hep V vax, and it is for drug users and multiple partner people. Why are we giving this to a brand new baby? I don't know. Here we go. Third ingredient, formaldehyde. Now, I realize that we're doing this in the name of science, and that in some third world countries, Hep B is a challenge. And it is dangerous because it damages the liver. And it can cause cirrhosis of the liver when it's untreated. And you don't need to be an alcoholic for that to happen. And I mean, I'm just like, whoa, why are we giving a brand new baby a Hep B vaccine? That's why I come back to when you walk into your pediatrician's office and you say, thanks, but no thanks, and they hand you this form. This just happened in a mom's group today, right there. This is from its refusal of recommended immunizations. A lot of pediatricians are now trying to CYA and present this and have the parents sign it on the spot. Now, the American Academy of Pediatrics, it says on their website, and I quote, "This is not meant to be a legal documentation and should not be signed necessarily unless a lawyer reviews it." And so I've started using their own words against them, and I found a new pediatrician. Now, hear me, mamas. If you are feeling pressure at your pediatrician's office to inject your child with things that you are not comfortable with, it's time to find a new pediatrician. Peace and love and grace. Find a new pediatrician. Now, what I'm finding is that a lot of people, this is so polarized and so politicized that it's just a reactive topic. No, we're here to be a voice for the voiceless, the kids that can't speak up for themselves, which is a newborn baby or someone with a neurological disorder. And I am here. I can get really fired up about this, and I have to back up, shut up, pray up, and remove the emotion and say, hey, if I love this quote. If I fed my children the ingredients in these vaccines, I would be put in jail. Hear me, warriors. If I fed my children, if I fed my child formaldehyde and aluminum, I would be hauled off to jail. Now, why is it okay in the name of science to inject newborn babies with this? You guys, it's up to you to make informed decisions. And that's why we are here, because I'm done trusting the system. And I know a lot of other moms that are too. And I am done saying, well, that's what the doctor said. Well, that's what the doctor said. Well, one example, only one. Blue Cross Blue Shield. We are not with them, so I'm not throwing shade or anything. As of the end of 2024, they reimbursed pediatricians almost $500 for every single patient in their practice that was up to date on their immunizations. $500 times 1,000 patients, that's the bank. Follow the money. Now, there are study after study, and we will go into this in my masterclass on February 25th, so save that date. There are study after study over a 12-year period showing how children who do not follow the CDC schedule for vaccines are healthier over a time period. We live in the heartland. We've been with flu A, which is apparently not covered by the flu shot. I don't take it. And 27 schools on Friday were closed. Hear me. 27 schools, and we're the biggest metro area in the state. 27 schools were closed because too much sickness. They didn't have enough staff. There wasn't enough students to attend so they could get their state funding or federal funding. And this is an epidemic, if I've ever seen one. We were healthy, so we did a lot of field trips. And I love that we have that freedom. When the schools shut down, people are too sick to attend, what does that say? That's a red flag. Okay, moving on. Here's the quote. If you want, this is a camera-rich environment. If you want to take a screenshot of this, I love this quote. It's not mine. Want to hear something wild? If I spoon-fed my child vaccine ingredients, I'd be in jail. Yep, that's the truth. Aluminum, formaldehyde, aborted fetal tissue. We'll go into that in my masterclass. I would have loved to have this information a decade and a half ago and make better informed choices to be a voice for the voiceless. And I hope you will stay tuned and be part of our journey, because we're not here to say our way or no way. We're here to say, let's lock arms and be a voice for the voiceless. Now let's revisit our American Sign Language, or Zachanese. We have educate and we have equip. One more time, educate and equip. Now, one of the things that I love is we do educate plus equip equals empower or empowerment. You're going to take a C like this to your non-dominant bicep and bring it forward. Make stronger, more confident. I feel empowered when I realize I do this research and I'm like, wow, I was right. That gut feeling. Mamas, hear my heart. Now, I mean, have you ever felt that way? You just knew something wasn't quite right, but you ignored it because the experts said this is the way we do things. Follow the money and follow your mama intuition, because you were put on this planet to be your child's parent for such a time as this. I am so blessed to be on this journey with you guys. And please check out at One with Bren on Instagram and Bren Harris, the Warrior Mom, on Facebook. And we are also on YouTube, Bren Harris 1. I believe that we are here at this time in history to make history. And I love that old, I think it's attributed to Mae West, well-behaved women never make history. So here we are, standing in the gap, being a voice for the voiceless. Remember, the Warrior Nation is your absolute go-to for truth and transparency. Warriors, unite.